Well, good evening, everybody. Hope everyone is having a wonderful evening tonight. Hope that y'all are doing great. It is nice and sunny over here. I think it got to a whopping 68 degrees tonight. I know y'all on the East Coast are having some weather and in Texas and all over, but I will take our weather. I don't know if we can handle what you guys are dealing with. So, but hopefully y'all having a good evening. And I'm so looking forward to this show. We have a fantastic lineup and a couple fantastic guests that are joining me tonight. Cindy's not here, stuck with her work, so it is me. But we've got a couple great guests here. So let me quick say hey to people in the chat. Then we're going to bring up everybody, and then we will get going on. If you guys do have any questions for our guests, just type in the chat question, ask your question, and we will try and get that answered. And as you come in, if you could hit that thumbs up button, we would greatly appreciate it. And so let's see who is in the chat. First people we have in the chat are the Cruise Nuts. Welcome in, Mike and Tracy. Hopefully you guys are doing well. And then we got Eddie Lugo. Yo. Eddie is in the house. Welcome in, Eddie Brookman in the house. Welcome in. Hopefully you are having a wonderful evening, sir. And we've got Ross with Orange Cone Vlog is in the house. Welcome in, Ross. Hopefully you're having a wonderful evening, sir. Hopefully everything is going well with you. And we got Mike and Rihanna Adventures in the house. Welcome in, Mike and Rihanna. And howdy, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hopefully you are doing well north of the border. And we got Tony G, 1975 is in the house. So welcome in, Tony G. Hopefully you are doing well. And we've got Julie is in the house with How We Cruise. Welcome in, Julie. Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you are having a wonderful evening. And we've got Denise with Bone Tire Travelers. Welcome in, Denise. Hopefully you are doing well. And everything is going good with you this evening. And we've got the Paranormal Circle. Welcome in. This is a great channel, guys. If you like the paranormal, if you are interested in ghosts and all that kind of good stuff, you need to check their channel out. They put out some really good content. Really like them. So check them out. And we got KL Daily. Welcome in. Hopefully you are doing well. Ocean Gang, hello. Well, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a good evening today. And we've got Howie Cruz is in the house. Hey, everyone. Brian is using the Howie Cruz account, and Julie is using Julia Howie Cruz. So glad that you both are here. We've got Will G. Welcome in, Will. Hopefully you are having a wonderful evening, sir, in Texas. Hopefully everything's going well with you. And we've got Scott with Controversial Cruising is in the house. Welcome in, Scott. And I hope that you are having a fantastic evening today. And we've got Jennifer with Embarkation Nation. Welcome in, Jennifer. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm glad that you are here. And we've got the captain in the house. Ahoy there, everybody. Ahoy there, Bruce. Almighty Wayne. Thank you very much. I'm glad it is acknowledged, Captain, and you acknowledged it. Thank you very much, kind sir. Hopefully you are having a good evening there, Billy. And we've got Bill from Armstrong Adventures in the house. Welcome in, Bill. Hopefully you are having a fantastic evening yourself, sir. Just saw Bill over on Destinations Funds live. Sherry does a great job on Destination Funds, so you want to definitely check her channel out along with Bill's. You want to check Sherry's out. She does a great live throughout the week, and she has a great channel, so check her out. And there she, speaking of Destination Fun, welcome in, Sherry, and hopefully you are having a wonderful evening. And Kathy is in the house. Welcome in, Kathy. Glad you are here. Says good evening to all. And we've got Facebook user, hey, Bruce McMillan. Hey, don't know who you are, but welcome in. Hopefully you are having a wonderful evening. Put in the chat who you are, if you would. Let's see, just checking out. See, want to make sure that we hit everybody if we can, and if we missed anybody, let us know. And we've got Embarkation Nation in the house. So welcome in, and just want to make sure we don't miss anybody. Hey, we've got Z is in the house. Welcome in, Z. Hopefully you are having a wonderful evening, sir, and hopefully everything is going good with you. And we've got Carmen in the house. Welcome in. Hopefully you are having a wonderful evening and everything is going good with you. And let's see, just want to make sure. And there we go. Okay, the Facebook viewer is Chet from Sea Lake Journals. Well, welcome in, Chet. Hopefully you are having a wonderful evening, sir, and that everything's going good with you and Robin. All right, I think I finally made it down to the bottom of the chat. Things are bouncing around a little bit, but hopefully everything's going good. All right, well, I am really excited for this this show tonight. We have a couple fantastic couples in. If anyone is in the chat, if you are thinking about cruising or traveling in general with kids, these couples are experts at it. We're going to bring them up. They're going to give you some good ideas and tips if you're thinking about it. Cruising wise, we're going to talk about what they do to prepare, how they get to the cruise ship or their travel destination, what they do during, and then getting home. So we hope that you guys enjoy this. Again, if you have any questions for the couple, just put in the chat question and then ask your question, and we'll try to get it answered for you. All right, so first couple that we have up on the docket is Brian and Julie with Alley Cruise. How are you guys doing today?
Sorry, I had to unmute. We're good now.
Hi, we're doing great. Thanks for having us.
All right, absolutely. So everything's going good with you guys. How's the weather there? Are you guys dealing with all this heat like so many people on the East Coast are?
We had some bad storms last night, and what was it, a couple weeks ago now, we had really, really bad storms in our town that actually did some really bad destruction. So we're recovering from that. We're doing well, but it's kind of muggy and icky, but I don't know. We're getting through it.
It's not as nice as the Caribbean.
Yeah, this is true. But what is? I mean, come on. Absolutely. Can't wait to go back there. I've got a funny story. So this morning, about 3 a.m., our dogs were going absolutely bonkers. Normally when they do, they see something outside. I didn't see anything at all. And they were going absolutely crazy barking. I get up trying to figure out nothing, got them settled down and go back to bed. Cindy gets up this morning on the news. We had 4 earthquakes last night. Had no idea. But the dogs knew it. And they responded. It was like, oh my goodness. So that's why they were going crazy. I think they said the strongest one was like 3.2. And it was like, oh my goodness. That's why they were barking at that time.
It's amazing how animals have that how they're so sensitive to everything and that we can't even pick up on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. It is. Cindy, she's like, you make sure no one's trying to get into the house. So, but that's a good thing. We got, they're just over a year old. They're brothers, and they let us know anything's going on. So it's cool.
They're like the old Italian grandma sitting out watching the window.
All right, well, let's bring up our other couple. We've got
Hello.
Embarkation Nation. We got Jennifer and Andrew. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing good.
Doing good.
And how are you guys doing with your weather in Texas?
It's hot.
I'm ready for fall. I'm gonna be honest. I'm ready for the first couple cold fronts. You know, not where it like becomes cold, but where it knocks it down to 80. You know, I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It makes me miss the East Coast. Not the snow, though.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're just going to have a good conversation about what it is like to cruise with kids. Travel with kids. Wait.
Speaking of animals, the cat just ran through the kitchen and the dog is going crazy. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Life.
Yeah.
So, and you might hear our dogs in the background. They're outside, but we have a couple squirrels that they know to set the dogs off, and they just terrorize themselves. Anyways, you might hear them in the background too. Anyway, so you guys travel with kids. So, Brian and Julie, we'll start with you. How old are your kids that you guys travel with?
All right, so we have Brian.
'Cause I don't know.
We have Brian, Kevin, and Katie. Brian is 12. Kevin is 9, and Katie is 8. So.
Okay. And Jennifer and Andrew.
Chloe is
You
3.
You have how many?
Just one.
Just one.
Just one.
And
That's it.
Chloe is 3 years old.
She is 3, 3.5.
3.5. Yeah.
Okay. So to both of you starting out with, do your kids like to travel? Do they enjoy that? Or do they want to stay at home all the time to be with their friends and everything? Do they like to travel?
Well, we have the older ones. So I'll take it first. Our kids love to travel. They absolutely love it. Anytime they're always, they love their friends. They love being home. They absolutely don't want to move anywhere else. They want to be here when we're home because we've had that. Not that we're moving, not we've ever talked, but like they are adamant that like we love where we are, but they love to go anywhere where they can visit and then come home. So they love it.
Cool. And so Chloe is 3, but does she still enjoy that? Does she, or she just could care less?
She does.
Yeah.
She does. She knows, like, when the luggage is out, she knows she's about to go on a trip. We're about to go on a trip now, so we have our luggage out, and she thinks we're going on a cruise, but we're actually flying to Boston and going to Maine for a couple days. And so that's going to be a little different for her because the last 3 vacations she's been on has been on a cruise. But the other night I was like, do you like cruising? And she was like, yes. And I like cruising. And I was like, why? And she was like, Mama, Dada, beach, or just, just different things in her own Chloe words. So we know she has a good time.
Yeah.
Nice. So then, Brian and Julie, do you guys pack for your kids, or do you make your kids, if they're older, do they have to pack their own suitcases?
Typically, we pack for them. But the last couple times, what we've tried is we print out, handwrite out like a little list. I give them a first list. They go put those things out, and then Julie gives them another list, and that's what
we give them a list. Pick out 7 t-shirts or 3 t-shirts, pick out 4 pairs of shorts, or now we're pretty explicit to gym shorts and then maybe some nicer shorts or some cargo, something like that. 2 pairs of pajamas, we really list it out for them. And then we go over their piles and put it in their suitcase with them. There have been times where we have just packed for them absolutely entirely, but we find they're getting a little older now. And if we pack something that they don't want to wear, forget that. So to give them a little bit of control, but it also takes the burden off us of having to do the entire thing.
At least they get the underwear and the socks laid out, so it's at least
hopefully
a baseline.
Jennifer and Andrew, so do you guys have Chloe help you, or you just pack?
Yeah.
And does she have her own suitcase, or do you just put her stuff in with hers, or how do you guys do that?
Yeah, she has her own suitcase. And if she were to pack, it would probably be Paw Patrol and
it would be every stuffed animal
in her blanket.
In her blanket. So we pack for her. We do let her pack a little. We have a little Mickey Mouse backpack that we used to put diapers and wipes and stuff in. now that she's potty trained, we've kind of converted it to that's what you get to bring toys in, you know. So I still kind of filter out what it is because nothing is more annoying than a toy going off in the night that makes a lot of sound and singing. So we have some limits on those, but you know, we definitely try to let her have some say. And she's kind of getting to the point where she's picky about what she wears. But you know, sometimes it's, you know, rain boots and some shorts and, you know, a sweater. So you just never know with her what she's going to wear. So we still have to kind of monitor that too.
I love that you guys do the backpack thing. That's one thing that we've always done. And one of the things that we say, like in our blogs and stuff, is advice to any parent out there with any kind of younger kids. I mean, as they get older, they want to have a bag of their, you know, forget the suitcase, but that carry-on. We always have our kids bring a backpack with their essentials and their whatever.
Something to keep them entertained, whether that be on the car or in the car or on the plane or whatever the case may be. A little, you know, and it gives them something to put on their backs, a little extra weight to kind of make them responsible for something, to make them kind of makes our suitcase a little lighter too. You can throw something in their bags. So
we had to because she's so interested in our cameras and stuff, we had to buy like a like a $20 camera.
So we got a digital camera with her with a selfie stick and stuff like Andrew has, because she wanted ours so much to vlog. And so we call it Chloe Cam. We never put the videos up because it's a lot of spinning and in, you know, the floor and stuff. So, you know, it's why you probably don't see a lot of Chloe Cam, because you would be dizzy and nauseous. But she wants to follow Andrew around. So that's one thing. And then her tablet. And then we have a stuffed animal bunny who goes everywhere with us. And then we bought like a passport for Bunny too, because she started to see that we had passports, but Bunny didn't. It was the whole thing. But
we have some Katie Cam, and Brian's been starting to actually vlog a little bit. So like we'll put a little bit of the footage in or some photos in or whatever, very edited. And I mean that it's only a little clip here or there because again, it would be like crazy. But just if beware the bunny. We are Katie's beloved bunny on our last trip to Miami did not make it home.
Is still on vacation in Miami.
And she's still asking about it. And this is how many months later, and crying about it. And it was her forever lovey. And I've done everything. And she even had like a duplicate at home, but it's not the same as the one that was as weathered and the one that's truly hers. And after 3 kids and so many years, we really thought that we always had our mark on it, because there's been many times where, you know, it's gone missing or whatever, but we always find it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's at the Holiday Inn in Miami. Well, not anymore. I'm sure it's in a landfill somewhere, but
no, it's at the Holiday Inn in Miami, and it's sitting on the floor in the laundry room. That's where it is. So if anybody's at the Holiday Inn in Miami, you come across
nothing breaks your heart like losing something like that.
So with kids, do you guys normally drive to where you're going, like whether it's to Coopsport, or do you fly?
We try to avoid flying with Chloe because it's a whole with her. Like we've learned that like if you've seen us late at night, she's a late owl. She's naturally like somebody who likes to sleep late, and so you know stay up late and sleep late. So we try to do morning flights because it's so much easier for her because she's still tired. We can just kind of get her in the car seat, get her out into a stroller in the airport, get through. So we try to do that because she has been known on like late flights to be the kid that's screaming and that we're like, you know, and embarrassed. And
wants
then
to see what everybody else is doing.
She wants to see what everybody else is doing. Yep. She wants to walk up and down the aisle, you know, so we tried that. She's actually ripped her little fingers. I was trying to move her into her seat. Her little fingers ripped like that little circle piece on the window, just popped that whole thing off. I was so embarrassed. Like, hi, flight attendant, our 2-year-old, she was 2, just ripped this off the airplane. So we try to drive. We try to avoid flying. Now that she's getting a little older, we're considering it, but it's all, like 2 weeks from now, like we're like my most anxiety about that whole trip is getting on the airplane with her. Like,
please don't break anything. Please don't break anything. Please don't break anything. Please don't break anything.
Screamer, please don't break anything.
Like I had to get internet for my car so that she can be contained.
Yeah.
So what about you, Brian and Julie? Do you guys fly or do you drive?
Well, so
I was just gonna piggyback what they said
Go ahead.
about there's so many parenting moments that we all have, and we're just like, oh my god, and we're all doing it, and yet you still look and you still see that either that like whatever person glaring at you or you're whatever, and man, the struggle is real. It is hard.
It is.
It is so hard.
It's not vacationing with kids. It's just parenting elsewhere. That's really all it is.
True.
But what I was going to
Yeah,
say
so
in response to the question was, so we had, we had cruised a long time ago. We tried one when Brian was 18 months old, and that is not something that I recommend anybody try traveling with strollers and diaper bags and formula and all this other stuff. So that, so we paused cruising for a little while, and when we were going to come back,
Kudos to you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard with their little.
We tried to start back up, and then COVID got in the way and pushed us back a little bit. So the kids' first trip post-COVID, we flew. And when we flew, everything was great on the way down.
It was their first flight ever.
Their first flight. The kids were great on the plane. They loved the flight down. And if you watch the vlogs, our flight got canceled on the way back. And being in an airport with 3 kids, when that flight finally got canceled at 1:37 in the morning, we said we are never flying again.
It canceled at 1:37 in the morning at Sanford, which closes and they kick you out of. So, and then we had to find a way out and home, and
we figured it out. But we said then we're never flying with kids again. So for our next cruise, we had we were going out of Port Canaveral, and since, for those of you who don't know, we're up in New Jersey, which is just a short 15-hour drive. So we loaded the kids in the car at like middle of the day, and the plan was to drive through the night.
We like to drive through the night because then they'll sleep. Like you were saying with the airplane, same thing. Like if they'll sleep in the car, then it makes the ride that much better.
A little bit of traffic, but we made it down no problem. But our problem again is getting home. We made it only about 6 hours on the way home, and we got rear-ended on 95 pretty hard. Wrecked the car up pretty good. Launched a suitcase right into Brian's head in the back seat. So then we said we're never driving again. So I don't know how we're getting to cruise ports anymore.
since we've been leaning towards leaving out of Bayonne.
Right.
Wow. So since then we've been leaving out of the New York, New Jersey ports, and that's actually been super, super awesome, not having to worry about driving or flying. But
flying's expensive though, but driving is crazy. And I don't know. If we do drive anywhere of distance, we try to make it straight shot. We try not to stop and stay anywhere because that's just more hassle with kids. We try to drive through the night as much as we can. Me and Brian will switch on and off, and so.
Nice. All right, so let's move over to cruising. How do you, when you're preparing your kids to for a cruise? Now, are they all Brian and Julie, your 3? Do they like to cruise? Do they enjoy going on a cruise, or do they think it's boring? It's kids. It's not, is it boring for kids to be on a cruise ship?
Well, it depends. It totally depends on the ship. And this is part of the reason that we actually moved from just doing the videos to actually moving into being an agency here, is because you got to find the right ship for you. And we travel oftentimes. Right now we're kind of heavily, most of our cruises we have scheduled are Royal Caribbean, because we're taking advantage of some of the, the kids sail free deals and things like that. But we pick those Oasis class ships and Quantum class ships because of the activities that they have that are targeted for kids those ages. Now, I'll bet you if we took them on Holland America or Princess, they wouldn't be very happy with us. So we stick with Carnival, we stick with Royal Caribbean, we stick with the ships that have a lot of fun stuff for them.
Yeah, and they absolutely
love it.
They've never ever experienced anything they didn't like. The only thing that maybe we wish they liked more, that they're only just starting to like now, is the kids clubs. In the beginning, they actually didn't like the kids clubs. Now, as they get used to cruising a little bit more and realize all there is to do, and maybe are a little less, I don't want to say fearful, but like upset about detaching from us, because we do a lot of the family. they're enjoying those kids clubs more. But they love cruising. They absolutely do.
Perfect. And Andrew and Jennifer, what about Chloe? Does she, for her age, being 3 years old, is there a lot of activity? You know, does she enjoy going on a cruise ship? Is she bored? Does she go to the kids clubs? What does she like to do?
She loves to. I think she likes to explore. Really,
She does.
She really. I don't think she really cares for the daycare, but she'll go. I think it's just because she wants to be part of what we're doing.
She feels
And,
like she's missing
you know,
out. She knows that we're going to leave her and go have fun.
Yeah, we can't tell her, hey, we're going to the casino. You can't go.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sorry. Good
But
luck.
I kind of want to add to that with the Royal. I've never been on Royal Caribbean, and I've been taking the courses, and it's impressive what they have to offer, and that's coming from somebody who's never gone to Royal, and I'm excited that we get to go on the Utopia next year. So I'm looking forward to all that.
Chloe, if you watch our embarkation day video, like she runs onto the cruise ship. We've done 3 cruises in a year. So we were August, January, and then this May. So she kind of remembers, I think. And so we kind of hype her up a little bit too. So Andrew went first, and then she like ran, and she didn't even jump onto the cruise ship. She just like ran past, and they were just like, "Oh, she's excited!" We're like, "Yes."
She goes to bed early,
and she knows, and she figures out where the pizza and the ice cream are, and the fact that she can have them. I mean, as soon as Andrew picks her up from, that's how we bribe her. Actually, go to the kids club. It's like, okay, you stay here a couple hours, and then we'll go get like pizza or ice, depending on the day. And so as soon as she sees him, she's like, pizza, and she like, she's figured it out. Like her directions on the cruise ship actually really impresses me. Like sometimes.
What you mean that Guy's Burgers isn't the first thing she wants on the cruise ship?
She loves pizza.
She loves pizza.
I think she gets it from me. Honestly,
we made her have a Guy's Burger and French fries because it was like a real short line when we got on. The pizza was I think it was just opening. Yeah. We had like a 10:30 boarding time, but yeah, she the pizza she eats as much as Andrew on a cruise ship. It's like, where are you putting that?
Wow. All right, well, let's check into the chat to see what people are saying. I let it get way out of hand, so let's. Denise says, we lived in California. Our cabs always let us know 30 minutes before we had our break. Yeah, well, it's, I don't know, they have that sense. So, and then we've got Tuba Chat. Hey, Kevin, welcome in. Glad that you are here today, and hopefully you're doing well and share it on Reddit. Thank you very much, sir. And we've got Alice is in the house. Welcome in, Alice. I hope that you are doing well. That's Eddie's better half. And I just want to check and see if anyone has any questions themselves. I saw your comment, Billy, but no, I did not highlight it. And then we've got Bryn Lynn, Kim Young. I hope I said that right. Welcome in. Glad you are here. And so hello, ma'am, embarkation. And we got Billy with Bam and Nola Long Adventures. Welcome in, Billy. And Billy, by the way, we just set up a group cruise for Billy for 2025, March 1st. It's on the Jubilee. If anyone wants to go on that, it's going to be a fantastic cruise. Check in. Mike Miano says, we remember when you guys issues at the Miami port after the Carnival Celebration cruise. You guys had issues at the Miami port?
Yeah, we did actually. This is it's a good parenting story. So like Jennifer was saying with Chloe running ahead, we were coming off the ship. And we all made it through. We all travel with passports, and with the facial recognition now, it makes things a lot easier most of the time. But as a good tip, I always carry all of our documents in like a crossbody bag, like right in front of me, so I can grab anything that we need, whether that be money or passports or anything like that. I always have it right up close to me. As we're coming out of the terminal, they're really trying to get us out. And
we bookend the kids, right? So Brian's going first with the passports of all mine too. They're all together at all times. And the kids are between us and I'm behind.
Well, they had two stations right next to each other, and they kind of pushed us into the two lines. And I went through, the kids went through, and the facial recognition wasn't reading Julie's face. And there was a gentleman, which I use the term loosely, encouraging us to exit.
So they
the
were
building.
through. So on the other end, they're like, you guys have to exit. But I'm stuck.
So the officer says to Julie, you know, I need to see your passport. And the guy's already kind of getting kind of loud with me that we needed to clear the area, which I said, you know, my wife's right there. Yes, I understand. We need to leave. Just wait for my wife. And
so you turned around to give me my passport. So he's walking over with my passport, and the guy takes the kids and starts escorting them out of the building. Now, again, they're 8, 9, and 12, and Brian was at 11 at the time.
And Jennifer, your eyes tell the story about how red I got.
So I'm screaming. They're minors, and this is the port of Miami. You know, like they're not going outside without us. And I'm screaming, stop him. And yeah, they tried to get the kids out of the building, and then you chased after the guy. And
fortunately,
I'm just glad that we weren't arrested.
Fortunately, the customs and border patrol officer that was there recognized what was happening and grabbed that security employee and removed him from the area. Fortunately,
it turned out okay. Our kids didn't get separated from us. We were okay, but
yeah, it was definitely it took me a minute to calm down from that one. So you don't separate parents and kids.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. And Bamanoa says we have never had issues traveling or cruising with our kids. That's very cool. We've got Elizabeth in the house. Says we traveled with kids 30 years.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, is that your mom? Oh, okay. Awesome.
I'm one of them that she traveled with, so.
Awesome. Welcome in, Mom. Let's see. And she said 3 years ago, it's easier now. And,
now they watch the grandkids.
Really good parenting tip, though. If you can get
tip.
a babysitter or a parent or a grandparent or somebody else to go with you, yeah, do it.
Trying.
We do. We put Chloe in my mom's room. Hey, Mom. There you go.
Mom would be more than happy to tell you the story of having all the girls on the last group cruise, like 5 or 6 girls, 7 girls under the age of 10, all sleeping in her stateroom.
Oh, wow.
Granddad was happy.
And then we have just Cody is in the house. And she says, hey, Dad, so is just Cody one of yours?
Not one of ours.
No.
Nope.
I think he was being funny.
Oh, yeah, because
all right. So that was my next question. When we are on, when you are on the cruise, and you want to, so your kids are, so with the kids club, let's go there. Is there a certain point that they can't be in the kids club, or how long does the kids clubs run throughout the day on the cruise ship?
So our experience with Carnival is like you have they have, like I call them like dinner, lunch breaks in between. So, you have breakfast and then it's like, what is it, like 9 to 12 or something? It's something like that, like a 3-hour, 4-hour block. And then they suggest you pick up your child for lunch. And then, you got like 1 to 6 or 5 or, they have different time schedules depending on the ship and I guess what's going on. So we've always kind of, usually we sleep in a little late. Chloe and Andrew sleep in a little late. I like to get up early. But, and then so she usually kind of just goes for maybe an hour or 2 in the morning and then we get her for lunch and then, she's usually in the afternoon ones before dinner. I do know that you can arrange with them so they can have dinner or something with them on Carnival, like lunch or dinner, a meal with the kids club. And we heard this last couple of cruises that you can even go to shore, go to the port and have them on the kids club. We have not opted into either of those, so I can't really speak to them. That's not something I would. I mean, Chloe's 3, so I would just feel very nervous the entire excursion or something if we were in port and she was on the ship. I just too many factors there for us. But I do know I've heard people doing it, so I do know it's an option. But I would just say check that out and see if it works for you.
Yeah, I mean, definitely when she's a little bit older, I probably wouldn't mind doing it. But like right now, I feel like she's a little too young. But.
Yeah, she's too, and there's just too many factors. But that we've only traveled so far with Carnival with Chloe. That will change in this next year. But we're excited to hear about Royal and Norwegian because those are the two.
Yeah.
And and MSC too.
MSC, yeah.
And so we're excited to hear about those kids clubs if y'all traveled them, Brian and Julie.
Yeah, so like I said, in the beginning, our kids didn't absolutely love the kids club. I think some of that had to do with there was still some separation rules with COVID and things like that.
Yeah.
But so they have the same, like on Royal, and they've done both Carnival and Royal kids clubs.
Like it now.
They do like it now. They do have the same breaks. So like there's hours in the morning and then the kind of breaks in the afternoon. And then there's hours in the evening again. And then it breaks again. And then all the kids are done for the ages under 13. So 12 and under, that they're all in the same room. If just like in Carnival, you can sign you haven't gotten there yet, but at 9 years old,
sign herself out yet.
you can sign yourselves out if your parents allow it. So Kevin and Brian, depending on the cruise, whatever, we opt for that each time, but depending on the cruise and if our comfort level, whether or not they can sign themselves out. After 10 o'clock at night, if you're late to pick up your kids, it's $1 a minute. So don't be late. We've never been late, but so that's not something. And then there's evening hours past that are kind of like babysitting hours. So where you can pay a fee. I think it's something like $10 an hour per kid.
Carnival has the night owls program where you can keep them
Yeah.
past 10. Royal has an after hours program also where you pay
Same thing.
past 10,
Per
same
kid
thing.
per hour.
And they have different
Until
nights.
like 1 a.m.
And they have different events. The same way that there's different theme nights for the adults, there's theme nights in the kids clubs. And one night there was a movie night, one night there's a pajama party. When we were on the Carnival
social.
celebration, they had for the teen club, they actually had a prom. Mallory won that, I think, right? The prom, she won the prom queen or something like that. So yeah, there's definitely stuff to do for all the kids. You just, the only advice we give is make sure you read the rules and you know the policies, so that way when you know what you're, if you have little ones and you want one of those little cell phones, they'll give you like a pager or a cell phone,
which is good, so that we can. Because I think, like, I agree with you about the shore thing. I don't think I could go ashore and leave my kids. I'm sure if it's fine.
We know tons of people that do.
Anyone out there watching, go for it if your comfort level is there. I would just be too nervous knowing myself that. I mean, what if I couldn't get back to the ship? You never know. You just never know.
That's our fear. Like what if, we take a taxi, let's say Cozumel, and like we're somewhere and we can't get back. That's
exactly. So I feel you there.
It's not a fear of the kids on the ship. It's
No,
a fear of what if we can't get back.
Yeah, there's too big of a barrier between the two of us.
The kids clubs are all awesome. All the staff are trained. We've never run into a kids club staff on any line that.
We're in a very difficult parenting spot like right now because Brian is 12. All the cutoff ages are like 12 to 13. Because once you get to 13, then you're in this like the teen. I think on both lines, and probably Norwegian too. You're into this like the more teeny area, a lot more flexibility. They do a lot more events, like things like pickleball tournament or dodgeball, pool tournaments, video game tournaments, where it's a different level. Well, Brian, now being 12, is ready to go do those things and extremely disappointed that he's not allowed to participate.
Right.
So
he's the right age for Circle C. Royal, it's one group from 13.
So he still has to go to the area where they have to sign in and out, but the other kids just can come and go as they please. And it's a little bit different there. So we'll be able to speak But I do know that the older kids and all the families that we've traveled with that have older kids in the teen areas absolutely seem to love the programs on both ships.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh, and Norwegian and everything.
yeah,
They're all
yeah,
great.
sorry, on all the ones.
And Chloe's done some cool things. Like she's done some like crafts with her handprints, kind of like like you do at like a daycare stuff. She's done like made jellyfish with her handprints, and little ocean feet were like little fishes. Just cool little things. And then we were at a show and we called them like, hey, we're going to be about 10-15 minutes late, picking her up at 10 o'clock because we're in the 80s show, but we'll be right there. And they didn't even charge us.
Yeah,
like they were just
us.
real flexible with us on that. I don't know if they will be every time, but the staff has always been amazing.
Yeah.
Chloe always has one favorite.
Yeah.
Just a little extra, touch, and just always just, makes her feel safe. So
I love to. Sorry.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was just saying, I love when we walk in the hallway and we see like the decorations on people's doors of the kids from the kids club. Like, everybody, or a lot of people decorate their doors to begin with, but the kids club decorations are even cooler because you can see what they're doing.
it's really cute.
Let's switch chat. And Granddad sleep in his chair. And Mike and Rihanna have a question for both couples. Says, what is your favorite cruise to go as a family? And so, and I know Andrew and Jennifer, you guys have only cruised with Carnival with Chloe, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
What about Julie and Brian? Do you guys have you? What is your favorite cruise line when it comes to as family?
Well,
I don't know if we'll answer it the same. I think we will.
Or do you have one, or what's something that
I think the Oasis class ships. I mean, Oasis class ships are it is royal, and not to be like biased in that sense, but like they just have so much to do for every level, and the family, they're really, really family oriented ships. I'm so curious to see where Royal takes that with. Well, Utopia looks absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see and hear
awesome.
what you guys think of the vlogs. And I mean, it looks amazing. That's the last Oasis class ship, and it's going to be so different from what Oasis is. I can't wait to see where they take it with Icon, and we have thoughts and feelings on that too. But Carnival, I mean, they are absolutely amazing with the Fun Squad. And Seuss at Sea, and Katie absolutely loves Dr. Seuss. And
she was all over the Dr. Seuss stuff. She couldn't miss the Seuss breakfast. She had to go to the Seuss parade.
Yeah,
and just hanging out. I mean, even on the Carnival Magic, she was chasing Aretha around the ship.
Yeah,
and this ship, she was Charlie was all over the whole time. It was
and Lee and everybody. So I don't know if I can say I have a favorite, because I just think that basically like. I don't mean to be wishy-washy, but go have fun. And if you're having fun, your kids are going to have fun. And I love them both for what they are, and find what works for you, I guess.
And each of the cruise lines, they each have a kids program for, you guys have experienced pretty good kids program to keep the kids entertained and having a fun time and everything.
Very much
so.
so.
Yeah. No, I mean, all the lines have something. Well, not all, not Virgin, and I'm not certain about Holland America. But even I was at work the other day, and a buddy of mine was telling me that he just got off a Princess cruise with his 3 kids who are about the same age as ours. And he said, oh, yeah, they loved it. And I was like, really? Princess? And he's like, yep, absolutely. The kids absolutely love the kids club. So I don't think any of the cruise lines are going to fail when it comes to the kids clubs. You just got to make sure you know what they offer, and, research it in advance and be ready.
So, this is something that a lot of parents, and I know we're trying to convince our kids that have a 2-year-old right now. She just turned 2 to go. So how safe are the kids clubs? How do they get signed in, signed out, especially if they're not a teenager? What about if there's an emergency during, when they're in there? What is that like? How do they communicate? How do they check in and out? Can anybody check them in or out? How does that all work?
So for us, Chloe is 3, and so we usually put whoever's in our party, like it's usually like my mom or maybe my brother, that we put as alternates to be able to pick Chloe up at the beginning. Like when you're checking into your cruise and you're filling out that like kids club paperwork, I would say in the very beginning before you're even on the cruise ship, you can designate who has permissions to pick up your child. So we always just, our family, if somebody in the group that we really trust, like if we're going on a group, we'll put them, but it's mostly just family.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure how other cruise lines do it, but every time with Carnival, they ask for your sail and sign card and your room number.
Yes.
Every time. So it's pretty safe.
And there's barriers too, like with Chloe's age group, they have you walk into the kids club and they check in and there's like a door that they have to press to open to let you in. But then even like on the Vista, I noticed there was even another barrier, like another door to where for Chloe's age group, like the 2 to 5, that they had to go through that, whoever was in there, the couple of individuals in there had to open to let her in so she could wash her hands and do all the things that she needs to do to go into the kids club. We've never questioned the safety of it at all. Like we've always felt that's probably the safest place on the ship, honestly. I mean, there's plenty of things ships, I feel like, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, the cruise ship is probably, they're very, very safe. And unless you're like letting your kids climb on the railing or do things they're really not supposed to, or even adults are supposed to, they're going to be safe. But that's our opinion.
Yeah.
So, but we've never had a problem. We've always felt very safe. Like, again, Chloe usually has one person that she sees in the kids club that she connects with, and that's who she runs to. And that's, been the best for us. Now, we've also had times where she's cried too much because she's having some separation anxiety, and they're like, maybe right now is not the best time. Can you come get her? She's crying. Or, maybe we'll try again in a couple hours. And we understand that too. Chloe's, she has feelings, and she, it's usually at the end of the cruise though, when she's tired and in a lot of stimulation, that we start having that, usually like the last day, honestly.
Yeah.
And Brian and Julie, anything to add to that, or?
I completely agree with you. I've never been worried at all. I feel like it really is probably the safest place on the ship for them. I've seen the double barriers. You have to sign in and out with your sail and sign card. Only the people who have permission, which is all in the system, are allowed to pick them up or even drop them off. And
the procedures on Royal are nearly identical to Carnival. I mean, it's so similar. It's they all have their slight little nuances, but they're essentially the same.
I've seen parents before come to pick up their kid and say, "I forgot my card," or I think one gentleman, like him and his wife accidentally switched card, like they grabbed the wrong one, and he had his wife's, and they would not let the child go, even though the kid's saying, "Yep, that's my dad," whatever. Nope, until they went and they fixed it. So, I mean, even when you see things like that, it just is. It's frustrating in the moment, I'm sure, for that person, but at the same time, you have to appreciate that level of security and safety. They're definitely not going to get outside of that room. And in terms of being able to sign themselves out, so like we said, I think at least on Royal and Carnival, the only two we can speak for, the age is 9, and you have to give permissions as a parent and say, okay, we're going to allow our child to sign themselves out. A good thing to know is if you do give them permission to sign themselves out at about 9:45, which is if it's in the evening, or I guess anytime that they close. So even if it's earlier in the day, 15 minutes before they're designated to close, they have all those children that can sign themselves out actually sign themselves out to start to clear out the room. So that way, as parents do start to come pick up their kids, there's not any kind of crossover or whatever. That was something that we weren't aware of the first time we let Brian sign out. So that's a good tip that we can offer. Just be aware that if they can sign themselves out, like they can sign themselves out, and they will tell them to sign themselves out at the end. Once they're 12, up until 12. Once they're 13, like I said, at least on Royal, and I believe on Carnival.
Circle C and
the same. Okay. They don't sign in and out. They just show up to where their designated activities are, and they come and go as they please. And we're totally comfortable with that with our kids. once you reach a level, and we didn't know when we would be, and I won't even speak to when that's okay. Like each parent has to decide that for themselves,
Yeah,
depending on
it really
your kid's
does.
responsibility level, maturity level, and where they are. But where you allow them to go on the ship without you and at what age is, a parenting decision that can be tricky to figure out.
Very cool. And so nobody then absolutely can pick them up if they are not on the list.
Correct.
But you can add anybody to that list you want. Our last group cruise, we were traveling with a lot of family, and we put like the whole and cousins and friends, and we put like a whole bunch of people on the list, and it's like, all right, we're all down. Not a whole
Maybe
bunch.
4,
All right, who's gonna
our
go pick up the
parents
kids?
and-
All right, you go pick up the kids. We'll go do so.
Who's on kid duty? That's like that.
Mhm.
So, all right, let's quick check the checks. I saw some more come in. We've got Uncle Dave is in the house, so welcome in. Hopefully you are having a wonderful evening. Welcome. We're glad that you are here. And we've got Danny from Griswold Family Vacay is in the
Hey,
house.
Danny.
And says, I'm eager to learn about traveling with kids, at least how others travel with them. And let's see, just checking down. We've got Lynn Leoki is in the house. Welcome in, Lynn. And we've got Will with Together We Travel. So welcome in, Will. Hopefully you are having a wonderful evening, sir. And Uncle Dave says, I will be cruising in February with my growing kids and my grandkids. Y'all pray for me. That is awesome, though. We're excited to be able to travel with our granddaughter, so hopefully soon. And Julie, tell
I have
Sean,
no idea where she's going with Sean Kay.
what's this about?
Do you know?
Hmm.
I don't know. I think there might be a typo there.
No, she's probably referring to one of your group cruises from when you were a kid.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't have any idea.
And we got
If we remember, we'll share it during our next live.
and then Cruise Nuts has moved over to Facebook, so welcome in again, guys. Glad you're still hanging with us. And we've got Ace Florida's in the house. Says greetings from North Carolina. Well, welcome in. Glad you are here. And we got George with Fearless Rambler is in the house. Welcome in, George. And hopefully you are having a good night. All righty. So what about shore excursions? You guys, I think you had mentioned a little bit, so you don't go on excursions without the kids. You're always doing that as a family. Are there certain type of shore excursions you're looking for that's easier to have with kids versus ones that aren't? Like, are you mainly looking for an all-inclusive beach that has toys and stuff like that, or what do you look for if you do excursions?
That is definitely something we consider. So when Andrew and I were younger, we sometimes didn't even buy the Carnival or Princess, it's the 2 lines we've been on, excursions. We'd kind of try to adventure on our own. Now that we're distracted parents, we buy whichever one is with the cruise ship, and usually the easiest one. I try to look for something that's going to entertain a 3-year-old. So something that's like hop on and off, like in the Key West. We did the trolley. We could hop on and off if she was just bored or too much. We've gone to the beach, and we whatever amenities they have, we look at that to make sure they're like Chloe appropriate. I mean, there's just definitely things that we look at differently now. There are a lot of excursions, it'll tell you in the description what age group it's for, and so we just kind of look to see if that's appropriate for her, and then we kind of go from there. We also, I was going to say earlier, we have like an old sail and sign card for Chloe, because when we're getting off the ship to go into port, she's gotten to the age where she wants to have them scan it, because she sees us doing it. So, but I'm like so terrified of her card, her actual sail and sign card, being lost. So we bring one of Andrew's old red cards, and that's her fake card. Oh yeah, that's her fake card. I will say the cruise line, every port, they're always like, oh, and they like roll with it because they've already scanned her out with, when I hold up both of them. So that's just my tip too. If you have an old Sail and Sign card for your child and you're worried about them losing it, but they won't insist on crying if they don't have it scanned, that's our tip.
And when we took her to Honduras, we went to that excursion with the monkeys,
with the animals,
and she loved that.
That was her favorite. She still talks about it.
Favorite. She got to touch a sloth, and it was awesome.
The monkeys, let her.
Yeah.
They let her go in. They wouldn't let her go in as a group because they were afraid with the monkeys they would get too excited with adults and her being so little in there. So they actually, our tour guide was actually the brother of the owner. And so he was like, he kind of explained to us, like, she could touch the sloth, but they wouldn't let her hold it, which we were totally okay with. And then he took her into a different set of monkeys that were some older females that were a little more used to all ages. And he had like special treats for Chloe to give to them. So they would jump on her head, and she got the whole experience, but she didn't get to go in with us. And when Andrew went in, I actually stayed out with her, but they did little extras for her. Like they let her give an entire banana to the spider monkeys or feed the macaws. They just did little extras, and we really appreciated that.
Nice. Awesome. Brian and Julie, with your kids and you have a little bit older, is there certain excursions they like to do?
Well, our kids absolutely love the monkeys and sloths too. Katie's dream was the sloth, and I'll say this: they do kind of dig into like your.
If you're not holding them up, they will.
So yeah, I was even nervous with Katie, but that's a great one. When we look for excursions, we typically don't go through the ship. We really have ventured out on our own. No, when I was younger and cruising, we never did excursions, or we would go get off the ship and find something to do and whatever. So we've done a little bit of both. But I think our number one thing as a family of 5 is we look for affordability. Affordability is because we're already spending whatever we're spending to get on the ship. Then we have everything going on there, but we want to see the ports, and we all want to do the things. But we pick and choose what's.
Swimming with dolphins is really cool, but at $225 a pop times 5, that's
right. Yeah. We agree.
Hey, look, kids, look at the dolphins. They're right over there. Wave high.
We have dolphins down here, so it's like
we'll go on the ferry.
Exactly.
That's cool. And we had a couple more people pop in that I saw. Julie, I think you saw me pop up. She says you're 16. There's 2 families, that's us and Kearns.
So not the same Kearns as our last name, actually, by the way, which is a funny story. I know who she's talking about, but I still have no idea what the story is. So I will find out, and I will just,
We'll share it Sunday night.
All right. And we have Kurt and Marsha with See Me Traveling in the house. Kurt and Marsha, I know it's late for you guys, but hopefully you guys are doing well, and thank you for coming in. We greatly appreciate it. Well, guys, this has been absolutely fantastic. Our hour went really, really fast. I only got half my questions answered, but that's okay. We'll be able to do it again. But thank you for coming in. This has been a blast. Lots and lots of great information. So thank you for coming in. Everybody, make sure when you go out, go over to Nautical Nurse Nancy, who is up now, and just let her know we sent you her way with hashtag O2ORAID, and let her know that we sent you and show her some love. She has a great show, so make sure you check her out. But we are going to call it a night, and we hope that you all are having a wonderful evening. And make sure you come back next week, next Tuesday night. Cindy might be with me. The D-Doll might be with me. We'll see, but we're going to have a fun time. So, everyone, until next time, happy travel.
Bye.
Keep out there.